We have an update on the DC plane crash. There's been quite a bit of finger pointing going on, but I think I've been able to identify what the real problem is. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you an update on the DC plane crash. And before I continue, may all those who died, 67 passengers on the plane and the helicopter combined, may they rest in peace. Prayers out to their family. There were quite a few, I believe, figure skaters on board, just a lot of regular everyday people, the soldiers, the military personnel on the actual helicopter. May they all rest in peace. This is a tragedy. However, the tragedy was avoidable from what I'm able to see, from what I'm able to read, from what I'm able to research. In my first video, I'm saying, hey, air traffic control appears to be the problem, because if the helicopter was doing a routine flight, if the plane was doing a routine flight, then how did they collide and how did this tragedy happen? Well, you're probably going to see most point the finger at the helicopter because they were flying a little bit too high, and they ultimately were responsible for crashing into the airplane or not, because they were given that authority. They're communicating with the tower throughout the entire time. The helicopter and the plane, they talk to the tower the entire time. The tower says to the helicopter, hey, do you guys have visual on the plane that's close to you? Yeah, we got it. They check in not once, but twice, because air traffic control can see that there might be a collision about to happen, but the helicopter might not have been able to see that plane that was close to them. Maybe they thought that air traffic control was talking about a plane that's further away. Hey, do you have enough room? Is everything good? Yeah, we got it. Don't worry about it. The problem, in my humble opinion, is the system. It's old. It needs to be updated. It is not prepared to deal with all this traffic with modern technology. They're just not prepared to deal with it. Everyone pretty much did what they were trained to do, what they were supposed to do, but the system is just not really equipped to do what we got going on right now in the sky. Now, before I go any further into it, let's get to this clip. This is from Captain Steve, YouTube channel, really good channel. You guys go subscribe to him. This is going to be about the air traffic control situation. All right. Now you can see what they can see. All right. You can see the aircraft they can see in the sky. And at a certain point, you're going to see these two aircraft, the helicopter and the plane, converge right here on this screen. So we're going to check this out, and then we're going to see a little bit more about the system and why it needs to be updated. All right, let's check it out.
They got to come out a little bit wider and come in. But remember, PAT 25, which is up here, the helicopter at the middle of your screen, they've already said we accept responsibility for visual separation.
Now, what that means is we are going to look out for the plane to make sure that we're not going to hit it. But it's at night, it's kind of dark, but it's also lights everywhere. They might have not been able to see it. Now, the question is, should that have been their responsibility, or should it be an air traffic control situation where they say, hey, you are dangerously close to that airplane, back up, stop, descend, ascend, do something to avoid it.
American 16, turn to 1 star 32014, Gulf 5, traffic 2 mile update from 833, no delay, runway 15 for B to take off.
American to take off.
Clear for takeoff, American 16.
So look, you see they're getting closer and closer and closer.
Here it comes. Now the tower is seeing what's happening, and they're saying, do you have the CRJ in sight? Because you guys are getting kind of close. And the PAT 25, the helicopter, says once again, yeah, and I'm asking for visual separation. Okay, the responsibility is on you then.
At this moment, when they are asking, do you see what's going on? Is everything all right? Rather than asking that, in my humble opinion, being Monday morning quarterback and not being a professional, and you guys who are pilots, air traffic control, anybody involved in aviation, y'all give me some information in the comments. But if it's me just being a casual observer, I'm going to say at this point right here, hey, evasive maneuvers, stop. You're not seeing what's going on. You got to avoid them from colliding right here.
Pass 25, pass behind this, RJ.
This cloud has a aircraft in sight, request visual separation.
Okay, so Pat 25 says, has the aircraft in sight, request visual separation. I don't think they had these guys in sight. I think they had the airplane behind them in sight. That's why this is such a tragedy.
And then we can see the crash happen.
American 4782
Down.
by Bath, now for visual. American 472,
right
Oscar Star 1 star 32017.
So you hear
And you can hear him in the background reacting to what just happened.
somebody in the tower go, oh, and they see what just happened. As you can see in your screen here, the collision took place. The tower has seen it happen in real time. They're human beings. They're reacting just like you and I would.
Now, shout out to air traffic control because they were still able to be professional, because you still got other planes coming in. You still got other things going on. They saw what happened. They know that there's quite a few people that are dead right in the moment. They can see it happen, but they still got to continue working. So shout out to them for being professional. I don't think this is their fault. I think this is the system that they're working in. They're doing what they're trained to do. They're doing exactly what they were trained to do from what I'm able to see right here. However, the system is not equipped to deal with what we got going on in the sky, in my humble opinion. Now let's get to the next clip here, okay? And again, these are aviation experts, pilots, everybody else. Let's watch.
Joining me now on the phone is Boyd Group International President and Aviation Analyst Mike Boyd. Mike, thank you very much for weighing in. Your reaction?
Look, this is a problem we have with air traffic control. Mr. Duffy has to do something about this. We've messed around with air traffic control for 30 years. Now we have deaths in the Potomac because of it. So this is a wake-up call for the new administration, which means fix the FAA and fix it soon before more people die.
You are attributing this and putting the blame on air traffic control and the FAA. Why? Specifically, tell us what was wrong.
We had two flying machines run into each other over the Potomac. That is the FAA's job, to avoid those things. Now, who knows? We have all kinds of human issues here, but the fact is we've had near miss after near miss for the past umpty-ump years. Now we've had a collision. The collision is the responsibility of the FAA and the air traffic control system. Somebody failed.
So tell me how it's possible that a Black Hawk helicopter entered the airspace or the path of a commercial airliner.
You know, they let it happen, number one. Number two, the fact is we are dependent upon humans, and humans make mistakes. There's no question about it. But the very fact we had a Black Hawk helicopter that was in the path, basically, of the approach to Washington National Airport, that is a problem. That should have never happened. This is why we don't have helicopters of a lot of over New York City anymore, because they ran into each other or they'd crash into a building. It's the same thing here. So there was a major failure here, and that helicopter shouldn't have been there. The airplane should have, but not the helicopter.
Well, obviously, there's a major failure somewhere, but Sean Duffy, the new transportation secretary a moment ago, was on that press conference saying that the paths were standard, that the jet coming in was following a standard plan, and the Black Hawk helicopter was on its own standard plan. The two can't make sense together if, in fact, there was this failure. So if
I was saying the same thing. It's like, okay, if the helicopter is on a routine pattern and the plane was doing something routine, just landing at the airport, where was the problem? Where was the fatal flaw that led to this tragedy?
he's saying this, they were on their standard paths, why didn't the air traffic control see it?
Because we have a bad air traffic control system that, unfortunately, his predecessors have tolerated. They've talked about it, but they've tolerated it. And the fact is, yes, if both was doing the right thing, something was wrong with the system, and that means people died because of it, which means Mr. Duffy has to turn around and say, something was really wrong here. We have to change it and change it right now.
So there's more to the video, but you can see kind of what's going on. The system of air traffic control has flaws, and that's why this happened. Now, as I close, I want to say this again. Rest in peace to all those who died. Prayers out to their family. This is a tragedy. This is a thing that doesn't happen in this country. Mid-air collisions, plane crash, people died. That's just not a thing that we do. But it could happen again, or it could almost happen again, because it's been as you heard, been quite a few near misses. Okay, this plane almost hit that plane and this and this. We got to revamp the entire system. And if there's any kind of DEI or diversity, or if there's anything that we're doing that we're spending any kind of energy on, regardless of what it is, we need to stop doing that and focus on modernizing the system so this tragedy does not happen again. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what's going on here? Do you think this is the fault of the helicopter, the plane, air traffic control, the people at air traffic control, the system that they have to operate in? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think it's a problem with the system. It's a problem with the system because I'm looking at some flaws just as a regular person. I could see off the rip. The main thing is when you see the two aircraft get ready to collide from air traffic control, I mean, what do you do at that point? Just say, hey, you got it? Can you see it? Yeah, I got it. No problem. Maybe intervene, maybe step in. I don't know. I mean, what would be the right thing to do right there when you can see it get ready to happen? And I know some are going to say, how can you not see a whole airplane in the sky? Hey, from pilots that I've spoken to, they say, well, it's easier said than done, especially at night in a helicopter. I mean, it's not so simple. So we have to update the system, get better technology, because this cannot happen again. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.